other wars. Wars and operations that are never voted on by Congress and never covered in the corporate media. In fact, more civilians are being killed in these undeclared wars than in Iraq and Afghanistan. The other wars on black people abroad and here at home, are carried out through US-backed proxy wars in Africa, Haiti, Colombia, and right here in the US through the war on drugs and mass incarceration, the new Jim Crow. Actions they have shown in England, and now it has finally reached the U.S. and Occupy Wall Street. It now spread across the entire country, spawning over 1,400 occupations. And
uplift is approaching spiritual doom. We know that, don't we?
Yeah. Is the way forward. Being part of this new peace movement, we understand that we are intertwined with every other struggle of our time. The struggle for economic justice, for immigrant rights, women's rights.
I mean, literally, I got an A in high school calculus, and I cannot even pronounce the number that represents the debt we are in. So I'm going to read it out number by number. 1, 2, 6, 4, 2, 8, 4, 4, 2, 5, 7, 5, and counting. And if my math is correct, and I'm pretty sure it is, if you subtract the cost of war from our overall debt, that overall debt is more than cut in half. And I'm just saying that. I'm not here to talk numbers because I'm not good with them anyways. I'm here to represent an often taboo subject in the discussion of wars, and that's Muslims. 2 years ago, I stood in my kitchen preparing dinner while my father watched the news. He had been listening for quite some time before he said, "Come over here. You see this mess on the news, this attack? Your uncle is dead because of it." It was not sadness nor mourning that overtook me that night, but it was anger. Why are Muslims so angry is a question we hear all too often. But the answer to this question is because day after day, this no longer seems like a defensive war. This but a war to end my very root of my being, the identity of Muslims across the world who want nothing more than to live in peace. But how? Tell me how we can even forcibly try to live contently when the death of 12 Muslims is equal to 1 bad egg. How can Muslims live contently when our homelands are being occupied? The truth is we try. We do what we can to make things better. We go out of our way to try and prove that Islam is not the enemy, that war is not the answer, and it's time for something to change. To all the self-vigilantes out there looking to rid the world of evil, you have been looking in the wrong place. To all those looking for the causes of our problems, the problem is not a brown-bearded face. And most importantly, to those just like me who think these wars have gone on too long, but see no end in sight, and I want everyone here to turn to the person next to you and give them a hug while I read this next quote. Remember what Dr. King said, "The arch of the universe bends towards the side of justice." Peace be with you all. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
We are all one, and when we challenge the system together, challenge the institutions that were built to oppress us, when we are organized, when we all march together, when we stand up and fight back together.
And what he wants to see in America. You should be able to count on a job that pays the bills, health care for when you need it, a pension for when you retire, and an education for your children that will allow them to fulfill their God-given potential. And I would say to my dear President Obama, you can have that if you end this war right now. If you end this war right now, let's talk about the children. In Hartford alone, based on the $34.8 million that we, Hartford taxpayers, are paying towards this war, we can have 13,116 children receiving low-income health care for 1 year. If you end this war right now, we can then have those kids start 4,406 Head Start slots for children for 1 year. And once they get out of Head Start, if you end this war right now, 418 elementary school teachers for 1 year. If you end this war right now, once those kids get out of high school and go to college, 3,518 scholarships for university students for 1 year. If you don't want to pay them, you don't want to pay the full ride, if you end this war right now, 6,267 students can receive Pell Grants of up to $5,000 for 1 year. It's very simple, it's simple math. End this war right now. Thank you very much.